wholesome, kusala and wholesome consciousness is related to wholesome consciousness by object condition. Formerly, you used to make donation to somewhere. What consciousness? Wholesome consciousness. You used to observe your precept of 5 precepts, 8 precepts, especially. What is wholesome consciousness? You used to pray, you used to practice meditation before. Wholesome and unwholesome. Wholesome. This wholesome consciousness arises before. Now you think about that. Oh, last week or last month or last year, I went to my donation. That place, this place. I go observe my precept at temple, and I, when practice meditation, my retreat, or 1 week or 1 month, something like that. You think about it. What consciousness arises in your mind? Wholesome consciousness. Depend on the wholesome consciousness. Now, wholesome consciousness arise. This means this wholesome consciousness support the wholesome consciousness to arise. It's the by object condition because you're thinking about. What's your object we are thinking about? Your object is your dana, right? Your charity, your sila, your morality. This the bhavana, your meditation. Is your object, right? Who taking this object? See that here. Or what's the Ãrammaña, the subject here? Among 89 type consciousness. What wholesome consciousness? Great wholesome consciousness. 8. Remember that, right? So, depend on your dana, sila, bhavana, what you have done previously. You're thinking about that. Let the wholesome consciousness arise. This means kusala to kusala. This wholesome consciousness related to wholesome consciousness by object condition. Understand it, right? That's the one thing. Now in Pali, they call kusalo dhammo kusala sa dhammasa. You don't need to write about that. Just listen, right? And second one, from kusala to akusala. Just from wholesome consciousness is related to unwholesome consciousness. See? By object condition. Previously, you do the good, right? You do the contribution, you observe your precept, and you practice your meditation. Now you think about when I went to the church or somewhere, when I do my donation, thinking about the place, thinking about the person you don't like it. And then you get angry, I'm sorry, I went to do my donation that place. If I know it happened like this, I will not go there. Think about, and then, unsatisfied about your donation. Thinking about that, right? When you're not satisfied about that, what consciousness arises in your mind? Unwholesome consciousness, anger, dosa, right? Dosa. This dosa arises because of what? Because of previously what we have done by wholesome consciousness, right? And also, you think that oh, I go to make donation. No one can make donation like me. Just I alone, I can do that. You're proud of yourself. It's mana, pride. Pride is the wholesome, unwholesome. Unwholesome. See? And you think, oh, I'm sorry. I could make a lot of donation. And then you attach to your contribution, right? Your money, something like that. If you can, you want to get back something like that. Attachment. What? Chitta. Loba. See? Loba. Regarding about previous donation, now, Loba arises. Dosa, anger arises. Mana, concept of pride arises. This unwholesome arises. Because of what? Because of wholesome. This means wholesome consciousness are related to unwholesome consciousness by object condition. Because you think about this object, right? If you're talking about that for the dana, for the sila, for the bhavana, the same. When you go somewhere, come to observe your sila precept, praise meditation, maybe one of your friends, you not get along with her because she disturbed me many ways. I cannot observe my precept rightly. I cannot practice meditation. Think about your friend. So, and then you get angry with her. In your retreat, you think about the food, think about your teacher, think about your friend, and then you get angry. This unwholesome consciousness. We call kusala, akusalasa in Pali. Wholesome consciousness is that produce unwholesome consciousness to arise. Right? And how about the third one? Kusala to abhyagata. Kusala is wholesome. Abhyagata is a functional consciousness. For Arahant, who already gained first state of enlightenment, become Arahant, they think about, previously, before they become Arahant, they do many donations, and they observe their precept, they practice meditation every day. What are they? Wholesome consciousness, right? Now this Arahant, they think about that. When Arahant think about that, what kind of consciousness? Functional consciousness. No wholesome, no unwholesome. Functional consciousness. Kiriya Chitta. Right? Great wholesome consciousness. Arise. This means this wholesome consciousness related to functional consciousness. The mind of Arahant. Oh yes, they become Arahant, the great wholesome consciousness, this that the mind of Arahant, Arahant consciousness, they is beyond wholesome and unwholesome. Because their function just doing. For except Arahant, if they have wholesome and unwholesome, we have to get the result in future life. The wholesome as the cause will give the result, right? But for Arahant, just function, just doing. No result. That's why when Arahant think about, consider about what they are doing in previously, this means in wholesome consciousness and related to this functional consciousness. When we understand these 3 points, for Akusala also, you will understand about that. Akusala. Here, Akusala to Akusala, right? This means unwholesome consciousness related to unwholesome consciousness. by object condition. When you kill someone, when you steal someone's property, what kind of consciousness? Unwholesome consciousness. Now you think about it. One time ago, I killed this animal. I steal someone's property. Just thinking about what we are doing in previously. Now, sorry about it. Feel sorry about it. And if sorry, what is sorry mean? Unhappy. Unhappy is the anger, dosa. Right, dosa. Maybe say, oh, because I killed this person, now I get a lot of money from him. Because I steal someone's property, now I have a lot of money, I can buy a good house, I can buy a good car. What's mean? Law about, right? You used to be happy about what you are doing previously. This unwholesome consciousness later to unwholesome consciousness. This means unwholesome consciousness produce unwholesome consciousness to rise again. Very detailed, right? This unwholesome consciousness later to unwholesome consciousness. And the second one, akusala to kusala. Unwholesome consciousness related to wholesome consciousness. Here, unwholesome consciousness is the cause, right? Wholesome consciousness is the result. What do you think about that? Yeah. When you do the bad thing before, it's unwholesome consciousness. Oh, I'm sorry about that. I will not do it anymore. So I try to reduce this bad karma. What I have to do, I will do contribution as much as I can. I try to observe my ilak, my precept purely. I try to pray and practice meditation every day to cure this unwholesome, right? The bad, this karma. Now you do the good thing. There's a lot of people in our world. Some, they do everything, the evil thing. They kill the people, they steal someone's property, they lie to people, they use drugs, something like that. Later on, they quit, give up everything, and go to practice meditation and gain enlightenment. Yeah, right? This means unwholesome consciousness as the cause, wholesome consciousness as the result. See that, right? Can happen like that. So when you regret about what you are doing, now you just do the good thing. It takes the previous action as the example, as lesson, right? To try to be a good person. This means unwholesome consciousness are related to wholesome consciousness by way of object condition, right? Object condition. One more. Because unwholesome consciousness, the wholesome consciousness can arise, right? Thinking about what we are doing, the evil thing previously, now you get regret and you will do the good thing. Try to be a good person. And for the trainer, for us the Sotapanna, stream enterer, right? Stream enterer, or the one returner or non-returner. They think about, now we become a holy person because they gain enlightenment, right? For the Sotapanna, stream enterer, what he eradicated? Doubt and wrong view. Doubt and wrong view is the unwholesome, right? unwholesome consciousness. And then he think about it. Oh, what he think about? Think about the doubt and wrong view. Doubt and wrong view is the object. You see the object here, Ãrammaña here. See, Citta, Cittasika. Doubt and wrong view, including this the mind and mental state, right? As object. Who takes this object? Which Dhamma takes the object? Wholesome consciousness. Right? See that Ãrammaña or Vajjayupana, mind and matter. This great wholesome consciousness. Now, I already eradicate this wrong view and doubt. This wrong view and doubt is unwholesome consciousness. When this Sodapana, stream and thinking about, concentrating about this doubt and wrong view, this wholesome consciousness arises. Right? This also we can call this unwholesome consciousness, this produce wholesome consciousness to arise. The third one, unwholesome consciousness produce abhyagata, functional consciousness to arise. For Arahant, he's thinking about all the mental defilement, all the 10, right? Or widely 1,500 mental defilement. No more. I already eradicate. Think about it. The thing he thinks, the object was object, kilesa, mental defilement, unwholesome consciousness. When he thinking about that, concentrating about that, the time he thinking about it, what kind of consciousness? Kriya, functional consciousness. That's why akusala to abhyagata, unwholesome consciousness as object, right? The abhyagata, great great functional consciousness is the subject. Right? Object is subject, and cause and effect. And for abhyagata here, abhyagata to abhyagata. Abhyagata to abhyagata. Abhyagata here, what's the abhyagata? Or neither wholesome nor unwholesome. This means resultant consciousness, functional consciousness, 28 matter, right? And Nibbana, abhyagata, right? Nibbana, Panyati is abhyagata. So abhyagata, look at here. Rupayarana Chakku Vinyana Dhatuya Tang Samyudakananja Dhammana Ãrammaña Pajjena Pajjiyo. The visible object is related to eye consciousness. Visible object is meant Rupa among 28 matter, right? Rupa is object. Chakku Vinyana Dhatuya, eye consciousness. Eye consciousness, what type of consciousness? Resultant consciousness. See that, right? Resultant consciousness, right? Eye consciousness is resultant consciousness. Resultant consciousness is abhyagata. See that, right? The visible object is abhyagata. This abhyagata related to abhyagata. See that, right? Visible object is rupa, right? Rupa is abhyagata. We cannot this the visible object, this color, this form, this picture, we cannot call it wholesome, unwholesome, abhyagata. And your eye consciousness, see that. You cannot say wholesome, unwholesome. This resultant consciousness. It's abhyagata. See, right? Abhyagata to abhyagata. It's very very clear, right? Abhyagata. This means because Abhyagata as object is not Abhyagata is the subject. That's cause. What is cause? That's Abhyagata, Rupa, matter. What is the effect? Just Abhyagata. But it's the mentality, right? Mentality. This Rupa is the
materiality.
Matter. So Abhyagata to Abhyagata. And the second one, Abhyagata to Kusala. Because of this Abhyagata related to wholesome consciousness. Wholesome consciousness. Now, as someone you think about your eye sensitivity or visible object as impermanence. So this eye consciousness or this color, this picture, this form, this visible object just arise and disappear as impermanent because they are oppressing by arising and disappearing is suffering, dukkha. Right? This eye sensitivity or this visible object and so on, this rupa, it's not person. Right? Just the nature of mind, it's the nature of matter. This anatta. Right? No person, no individual, this uncontrollable anatta. If you think about it or contemplate on this eye sensitivity as impermanent, as suffering, as non-self, uncontrollability, is what's meant here. At a time, what kind of consciousness arises? Wholesome consciousness. Depend on what? Depend on rupa. Rupa is an abhyagata. This abhyagata related to wholesome consciousness. This abhyagata, this eye sensitivity is cause. Wholesome consciousness as the result. See that, right? This the abhyagata is produced wholesome consciousness to arise. You can see that too. Yeah. If you call kriya just a functional consciousness. If you call kriya, but this kriya
is one of.
The among abhyagata too. But still, all vipaka citta, right? Vipaka is certain consciousness. 36. This abhyagata. 20 kriya citta. Also abhyagata. So please just remember abhyagata and kriya are different, they're different. Just kriya just only consciousness. If abhyagata is not only consciousness, right? Even the rupa and nibbana. And the last one, abhyagata to akusala. Right? Abhyagata to agusala. This means because of this abhyagata, like for example, you look at the mirror, you see your face, you feel your eyes sensitivity. Oh, my eyes very beautiful thing. And you attach to your eye, eye very pretty, something like that, Your body, what's the mean? Abhyagata. Rupa, right? Matter. Rupa. Oh, my hair is very, very nice. My nose very beautiful, something like that. Think about it. At that moment, what kind of consciousness arises? Unwholesome consciousness, lobha. Right? Maybe you're happy about it, right? Happy, loba, somanasa saga, with happy, pleasurable feeling. We already studied at chapter 1, right? Loba, consciousness, right? So this means abhyagata, this rupa, produce unwholesome consciousness to arise by object condition. Just think about yourself. Oh, this is my hair, my ear, my eye, my nose, my lips, very wonderful, beautiful, something like that. Oh, my dress, my body, so. Yeah. you feel so. If you feel that, oh, I'm ugly, it means you feel unhappy about that. This dosa. See, dosa. Oh, when sometimes you put up your teeth, your tooth, and just look at the mirror. Oh, it's very sorry. You cannot smile in front of people. Feel unhappy. Just unhappy. What unhappy? Dosa. Dosa, unwholesome consciousness. So, if you don't know or don't understand yourself, right? What consciousness? Moha. Moha, unwholesome consciousness. You see? Because of abhyagata, is produced unwholesome consciousness to arise. So the Buddha, just briefly explain here, just the former Dhamma is related to the later Dhamma by object condition. Just say it briefly. See? If we study about that in detail, so many things to take example talking about for Ãrammaña. Now, I hope all of you, when we do chanting, right? Ruparanam jaku vinyana dhatu yatang samayudakanam ja dhammanam ārammaña bhajena bhajyo, and so on. Now you know some meaning briefly, right? Oh, because of the visible object are related to this eye consciousness and its concomitant by object condition, just a cause and effect. No person here, all the realities. It's not finished yet about Ãrammaña, it's the object condition, but the time's up. Right? I would like to take special simile next week about the person, about the sixth sense object, about eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, and mind, what they look like regarding about our daily life. Or this case, I will continue next week. Just thank you for listening. Yeah, what do you think about class?
No, I don't know exactly what I like to say.
Yeah. You're a new student, New student, you speak up the chapter 8, so you didn't have the background about Abhidhamma. I know it's very difficult for you, but even you cannot catch it all, maybe some, right? I've tried the best I can, as I explained to you. If you just read and by translation, we don't understand it. You should take many examples to understand. I hope you get some from our class, right? Yeah. And we practice meditation, we are meditators, so we understand these realities, right? It's no person, it's no individual, just mind and matter, just as cause and effect, how it is related each other by way of this condition. That is the realist vipassana insight meditation. As I told you just now, when we know all this mind, this matter, this just a fine aggregate, or this just mind and matter, just cause effect, just arise and pass away. If you really understand, realize about this, just you small stream enter. When you die, you will not be reborn in a woeful state. People who have to be reborn in woeful state because they don't understand about it. As they don't understand, they do what they want to do according to their greed, aversion, anger, delusion, jealousy, and so on. Now, when we understand that, we can reduce our unwholesome consciousness and change our unwholesome consciousness to wholesome consciousness. Right? Okay, do you have any question? Oh, just good. Good. You're welcome.